To be honest, it's been a bit of a love-hate relationship when it comes to this DJI Osmo Pocket 3. You see, sometimes I think to myself, thank goodness I've got this Osmo Pocket 3. And then there's other times that I think, why did I buy this DJI Osmo Pocket 3? Let me elaborate more next. The main reason I bought this DJI Osmo Pocket 3 was because my normal out in the field vlogging camera, the Sony ZV-1, had started playing up and began to become unreliable. It would freeze intermittently, and that's about the 100th take it's taken me to say intermittently correctly, and give these weird purple flashes across video clips. Now, I had actually bought the Nikon Z52 as my out in the field vlogging camera as well as my studio camera. But there was just a little problem with that. See, when I was doing actual photography with the Nikon Z52 while filming a photography vlog, how was I supposed to use it as a vlogging camera at the same time? Yeah, I didn't think that one through too well, did I? So I looked at some reviews online and noticed that DJI Osmo Pocket 3 had some positive reports as being a great vlogging camera. At the end of November 2024, I bought the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 while it was on special during the Black Friday sales. Okay, so let's start off with some of the positive things that I found with the Osmo Pocket 3. And then I'll talk about some of the things that I think could have done with a little bit of improvement. Firstly, I love the simplicity of the Osmo Pocket 3. You flip the screen out, it starts up, and away you go. Pretty quick and fast if you want to start vlogging in a hurry. Also, its size, because it's small, you don't stand out like you do with a larger camera setup when you're out vlogging in public. Very stealthy indeed. I really like that about it. The 4K image quality is very good for such a compact camera. I use the 4K 100 frames per second in-camera slow-mo feature for reviews on camera gear like lenses. The low light mode performance is also very good. One night I was out doing an astrophotography vlog and the Osmo Pocket 3 did so well in the darkness. Picking up my face, no problem with the light that was available and even shooting the night sky. The built-in gimbal makes walking and talking an absolute breeze. It keeps the footage steady without having a complex gimbal setup like I used to have with my Sony ZV-1. Being able to flip the screen into portrait mode for social media format videos that can be recorded in camera is also really handy. So no having to crop in post-editing and create another clip to export. Now, I love the fact that the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 Creator Kit that I bought comes with a DJI microphone and windsock that connects wirelessly. It's easy, fast, and I found the quality of the audio is always extremely good. It's just so much better and quicker than having to plug mics in physically into a camera via a mic jack. I also got a wide angle lens attachment, which is helpful sometimes. And I didn't even realize until about halfway through the year that it can be stored in the protective case so it doesn't get lost in your camera bag. The face tracking feature when the Osmo Pocket 3 screen is facing towards you is also very helpful when you're alone and you're moving around and you need the camera to follow you and keep you in frame. This is pretty awesome value if you're a solo content creator. Another great thing about the Osmo Pocket 3 is it has that product showcase focusing mode in it. I use that a lot for unboxing or getting close-up details in nature. Lastly, I like the extra battery extension handle you get with the Osmo Pocket 3 Creator Kit combo. Having that extra battery has saved my butt on a number of occasions when I was out filming in remote locations and needed that extra long battery power. It also makes the Pocket 3 easier to grip and hold in the hand. So that's just some of the things that I really love about the Osmo Pocket 3. Now let me talk about some of the things that I think could have done with a little bit of improvement. The biggest con for me is the focus is hit and miss sometimes and can be a bit temperamental. Sometimes the Osmo Pocket 3 just can't make up its mind. It's going foreground, background, foreground, background, foreground, background. But I found this happens in certain lighting conditions, like forests and rainforest with dappled light in the background. Now I tried a whole bunch of different things to try and fix this, like using the product showcase mode, which mainly focuses on things closest to the camera, but it still did it. Now, not too long ago, DJI actually released a firmware update for this Osmo Pocket 3. It gave it the ability to shoot at close-ups, as in it went to 40mm with a type of minimal loss in 4K video. But in that update, it also had a new focus breathing compensation feature. So I turned on that focus breathing compensation feature and I tried it with that focusing issue I was having. It helped quite a bit, but the focus was still a little bit temperamental and I kept getting that foreground, background, but not just as bad as what it used to be. But the best way I discovered to get around this completely was to always have the Osmo Pocket 3 facing towards you with the screen and activate the face tracking mode. It is much more reliable and it always keeps my face in focus all the time. Now, what most of these reviews told you online when I was looking at buying the Osmo Pocket 3 was that it has a beauty mode feature in it for softening the skin and giving your face a more clean, natural look. It just helps getting rid of imperfections, etc. However, using the beauty mode feature, it can only be applied to clips via the DJI Mimo app. So if you've got a whole bunch of clips you want to apply this feature to, you have to wait until each one is done, and it is super time consuming. Now, in my old Sony ZV-1, it has a beauty mode in it as well, but at least it applied it in camera. You take the SD card out, put it into your computer you're editing with, and you're done. But hang on, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 can actually do a batch capture in that beauty mode. So you select all the clips you want to export, then hit go. You go and have a cup of coffee or a bit of dinner, and it does it while you wait. So that's much better, right? Wrong. Yeah, see, the problem with doing that batch capture in beauty mode export, random audio dropouts occurred on random video clips. Lastly, when I'm doing time lapses during the day, I tend to use an f-stop of say about f8 or f9. So that didn't happen when I did each clip individually. So it takes me back to the first point. You've got to do each clip individually. The protective cover, while it's effective, it can be a real pain in the butt. Literally, in that I keep losing it, and putting it in your pants pocket, it makes it really hard to squat down or bend over, and it's horrible because it's hard. Unlike my old Sony ZV-1, you turned it off, the lens retracted, you put it in your pocket. Now, of course, if you're putting it into something like a jacket pocket on your body, well, that's a whole different story. The micro SD card slot on the Osmo Pocket 3 is really fiddly to get in and out. Now, I can get it out okay because I have thinner fingers, but I dare say those with larger fingers may have to resort to a popsicle stick, coin, or maybe even a thin screwdriver to get it out and back in. Do I regret buying this Osmo Pocket 3? Well, no. And yes. If I had to buy it again, 70% of me would say, yeah, go on and buy it, but 30% of me would say, no. Now, please don't get me wrong here. The DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is a great vlogging camera. There's no doubt about it, especially for the money that you pay for it. You know, maybe I push the Pocket 3 too hard sometimes and I ask too much of it. Maybe that's my problem. Or maybe I shouldn't take it for granted. I mean, after all, when you think about it, it's a relatively inexpensive camera for the amazing specs and features you get with it. Well, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you own the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, I'd love to know your thoughts on it, whether they're good or bad. Let me know in the comments below. Well, have a fantastic day or night wherever you're watching this video from. I'll see you in the next video.